No idea.
No idea, no.
I'm unable to decode.
Yeah, let's go with that. Oh.
Oh.
Read between the lines.
Lines, of course! You didn't read it!
Look elsewhere for hints.
Can you read it? Dude.
Shh. Oh shit, yes. Okay, I forgot. Sorry. Or maybe he referred to the fact that we were both given an apartment. Considering the things they provided for us, maybe I just had to find the right object to code the message. There were many everyday items here, though, and of course, I still had no idea what in particular I was looking for. Probably not in the book. Let's look in the bathroom. That's a pretty nice bathroom, actually.
Yeah. How
Look inside the shower.
How would a dragon fit in that little bath?
Is it full of water? Why has it got water in it?
I don't know.
Look inside the cabinet. No razors. There's some pain meds, though. Take some. Sure.
Just overdose.
Let's look inside. Haha. No shampoo to be found anywhere, of course. And no hint either, just some body wash. Okay. Let's try the kitchen. Okay, this kitchen is shit. The bathroom is nice, but this is shit. Okay, let's look in the pantry. Fruits and veg. Why do dragons eat fruit and veggies?
I don't know.
They must be. Oh my god!
What?
Wait.
Lemons, of course!
Lemon juice is about the simplest way to write a hidden message using household items. We learned about that in chemistry. In the most boring detail, of course, a message written in lemon juice on paper becomes just about invisible to the naked eye when dried. But after heating it gently, oxidation occurs, making the message visible. I was sitting next to him in class when we learned that. He made a joke about using the method to cheat on the next test, and I replied by saying he'd have to bring an iron. Had he really expected me to remember a random chemistry class that happened years ago? But then, I did remember it after all.
Haha.
I can't believe that this is what... I didn't expect that.
Meet me at the portal tonight, 10 p.m.
Was all the message said. I wasted a good amount of time, but I still had some left before I have to go out and meet Reza, so I decided to make some lunch. So wait, can we actually miss this if we take too long?
I suppose.
Afterwards, I resumed reading my book about the continuing adventures of Sheridan and her exploits in destroying cultural artifacts. Wow, you're a bad archaeologist.
Yes.
Like the new lava.
Oh, like that freaking girl in Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna take this thing and break it! Oh, now I've been possessed!
Unsurprisingly, it came to a happy end, with the evil organisation stopped in its tracks, at least for now. I thought the ending was deliberately left open for ambiguity, but when I turned the page and saw the advertisement for the next entry in this apparently long-running series of books, I realised all of this had just been a ploy to set up the inevitable sequel.
Bum bum bum.
Luckily, the disappointment didn't last long, as I had to get going to meet Razor at the portal. When I got outside, it didn't seem quite as dark as it was when I arrived yesterday. I might have had difficulties finding my way, otherwise, but I could still see the portal in the distance. As I was walking, I wondered if anyone was following me, but the land seemed oddly deserted. Was everyone already asleep?
There goes your fan.
Eventually, I arrived at my destination. Razor was already standing idly by the portal, his fidgeting making it obvious that he had waited just for me.
You came! I was already wondering whether you'd get it at all. What did you expect? What a wonderful night it is. Just look up at the stars.
Did you bring me out just for this?
Yes. You can see them so clearly here. Without all the pollution lingering in the air like back home. Almost as if we're looking right into the face of eternity itself.
Just shows Morgan Freeman.
For so long, humanity thought we'd find aliens out there, yet after all these years, we found we were still alone in the universe. Turns out we were just not looking in the right place. That's a bad sentence.
What's going on, Razor? Why did you call me here at this time?
To fuck. Now, for one, because we're sending the generator home.
Right. Before I was sent here, they told me they would limit the use of the portal, as they couldn't afford to keep it open at all the time. In order to keep in contact with us and enable us to send things over to them, the portal would be open for just a quarter of an hour each day. Sending something back home wasn't really problematic for us, since the high energy expenditure associated with sending bigger objects only affected the sender, not the receiver. However, this also meant that until all business was concluded in our regards to our trade with the PDAs and the generators, we were basically stuck here.
As for the other, do you know what this place is?
You said something about trouble. How much danger are we in, really?
More than enough. I'm afraid this whole place will be gone soon, and we better not be here when it happens.
Is it Silent Hill?
Oh no! I'd hope you'd see it too, but then it took me a while to understand, and I had a head start on you in any case.
While he was speaking, my gaze wandered and fixed on some movement nearby. It was hard to make out anything, but I imagined it might just have been wind blown through the nearby shrubbery, except for the fact that there was no wind.
It was a fart.
Razor.
This might take a while to explain, but we've got the whole night.
Razor, look.
You didn't read it!
Fuck!
You! How dare you follow me, even here?
The disturbance came closer until it became clear that it was Maverick, who had hidden nearby to listen in on our conversation.
I knew you were up to no good. What are you talking about? What are you planning here? Some kind of attack?
Wait a minute. There's no reason for...
Don't try to deny it. I heard you both talking about it in the cafe. I saw the letter. You think I couldn't...
Wait, did you break into my house?
You think I couldn't smell the lemon on it? Pathetic. I hate lemon. You'll have to come with me to the police station now, both of you.
Come on, I think you're over it.
Holy fuck! What?
Jesus Christ! Razor, what are you doing?
Come on, Horty, let's get out of here! What the fuck?
In the dragon's side, I could see the wound where the bullet had penetrated his hide, a trickle of blood staining his dark scales and the earth underneath. Beneath. Razor used the opportunity to run off in some direction. I wasn't sure which. I frantically scanned my surroundings looking for Razor, though he had already vanished into the darkness. What was I supposed to do? Run away as well? Help Maverick? I was just a diplomat. Diplomat. And I had no idea what was happening. Okay, never mind. Suddenly, the dragon whipped around, hitting me in the guts with his thick tail. I was lifted off the ground briefly before I felt the impact of my body hitting the ground hard enough that my vision blurred almost immediately. I died immediately. A deafening roar battered my ears. Was this his cry for help? I could barely move, but I found it better not to try, as to not startle the wounded dragon more than he already was. It certainly would have ended badly for me if he tried anything. I heard him take a few unsure steps before he lay down on the ground, panting.
I'm still watching you, you know, and you better not move for your own good. If I have to get up again and come after you in this condition, I can promise you I won't be nice.
It took a few minutes of listening to his laboured breathing before someone arrived. It was 2 dragons. The first I recognised as Sebastian, the other one I didn't know. I heard Sebastian and Maverick exchange a few words when the stocky fellow approached me. Okay, this is probably going to be a voice for me.
You just headbutts you.
Oh, God. It's really hot in your room. I've just noticed that.
You closed the window.
Well, do you have the heating on?
Probably.
Oh, good Lord, I hate heating.
Whatever. Mate, I would say do an accent. but you don't do accents.
No, I don't.
He's a mute.
No, we can't do that.
I could do a voice. I'm fine. We're doing a voice.
Do you want to do a voice? Okay.
I can figure one out.
Okay.
Now it's on me. I won't do American. How about that? Hey kid, you alright? No, that's shit.
Fuck.
I'll just do British, it's fine. I'm Bryce, the chief of police in this town. Can you tell me what happened? Be a town. Razor Sharp African ran off. Well, I'm not sure what happened.
Okay.
Is that so?
No.
Read it.
Shit! I keep forgetting. His face was stern and seemingly lost in thought as I overheard Sebastian's conversation. Can we turn the heating off after this?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're on the flyer on duty. No, you're the flyer on duty.
He's the flyer.
Probably won't find him now. Not here in the darkness at any rate.
Well, that's just brilliant.
What do you think, Chief?
Horny, can you walk? Horny, can you walk?
Yeah, I think so.
Alright, Sebastian, take Horny to the apartment. Get us some help here for Maverick, and then we'll look for Rizzo.
Look, okay, no, we've got to turn the heating off now. It is boiling in here. It's fucking boiling in here. Oh,
okay,
God.
I'm gonna need to descend under my desk.
Apologies for this, guys, but... Oh, God, it is
You
hot.
like to make things awkward, don't you? Mind your feet.
Well, come on, man. I can't be uncomfortable while we're recording, like, hour and a half sessions.
We're back.
I don't know if we missed anything there. I can't go back. Okay, right on. Come on, Horny. I'll help you up. I was still shaken up by the events I just witnessed when I arrived at my apartment. Not knowing anything better to do, I soon fell into a deep slumber. Okay, why did we have to know that?
It's nearly been an hour and a half.
I said that. The next day, I awoke with many questions lingering in my head. I considered calling someone from the police department to ask about Razor and Maverick, but in the end, I decided against doing so, as I was sure they would contact me if they had anything to tell me. I knew it was no use worrying about it for now, so I settled for starting another book.
Bing bong.
It didn't take very long, though, before the doorbell rang. Did Bryce, the chief of police, take it upon himself to escort me today? Oh, it's you again.
Are you surprised?
No, but I guess it'll mean bad news.
Fred, so, how are you holding up?
Better than yesterday, that's for sure.
That's for sure. Let's go for a walk then, shall we?
Sure. Just takes a gun and puts it to my back.
Don't move.
This time,
I'll
I was
fuck
taking
you
it
up,
on a
bitch.
different route than yesterday, and I was quite sure there was more to this than just taking a walk. I'll just go ahead and guess you didn't find Razor.
Yeah, we hoped he would have come back on his own by now, but... do you have any idea where he might be? Maybe he mentioned some sort of place in particular that holds some meaning to him.
No, not really. We didn't get a chance to talk much at all yesterday before.
There's that too.
I have no idea why Razor would have done anything like that. I had the impression that they weren't very fond of each other, but this... How is he, by the way?
Oh, Maverick is doing fine, and there's plenty of blame to go around. You're right. They didn't particularly like each other. By his statement, Maverick says he suspected Reza of planning some sort of attack. Do you know anything about that?
No, he only told me something was going to happen, not that he was planning anything. At least that was the impression I got.
He suspected you too, by the way. That you both planned this all from the beginning.
No, that wouldn't make sense. Actually, none of this is making any sense. Why would we go through all the lengths of our agreement only to jeopardize it by doing something like this? You even already have our PDAs, and we don't have much to show for it yet. If we had any nefarious plans, this wouldn't have been a very good idea.
You have a good point, I believe you. But from our side, we only have Maverick's word on the whole matter. After all, he was the one who spent the most time with Reza since he arrived here. But even then, he didn't really have any reason to follow you yesterday, and his behaviour was completely out of line. I'm just glad you came... You just came... that northern accents, man. I'm just glad you came out fine. Oh, God. If he wasn't on mandatory sick leave, he would be suspended right now. We'll have to wait until this whole thing is over before we decide what to do with him. I can assure you this won't be taken lightly. Oh, God.
That feels pretty... like, aggressive.
Yeah.
And that seems...
a bit wishy-washy. Like,
yeah.
Hope so.
It's cliche, but...
Yeah. I personally guarantee it.
We still got quite a lot on our hands now, though. We have a wounded dragon and a missing human. This could lead to a diplomatic crisis.
Maybe Reza will still show up soon so we can get all of this behind us.
I hope so too. I really wouldn't want to jeopardize everything over this unfortunate incident.
Yeah, about we both just keep quiet about this whole thing for now. After all, I don't think any of us want our people panicking about this already, right?
I merely nodded in agreement. Oh, it's a library.
Yay. Or an office.
Eventually we
Police
arrived
station.
at the
I
police
was
station,
right!
where the chief took my formal statement in regards to yesterday's events. He asked me about Razor Maverick 2, not that I knew much of anything that preceded yesterday's events, or the mysterious catastrophe Razor had mentioned. Afterwards, he thanked me and left to file my statement while I sat by his table, waiting and listening to the goings-on of this small provincial town police department. When he returned, he was approached by someone who seemed to have urgent news. A lot of talking between the two.
Car alarm. Keep going. Fuck it.
Ensued that I couldn't make out from my position. This went on for a bit until Bryce returned to me.
Someone showering again? Yes.
Ooh.
Afraid I have some bad news for you. Reza has now officially become a murder suspect. Bam bam bam!
Oh.
That went.
Well,
that
he does
went
have a gun.
Fast.
Murder?
We're heading to the crime scene and hoped you'd come with us. Want to see a dead
Me?
body?
A crime scene? I don't really know much about forensics.
It's just that you're the only link to Reza we have. Consider what he said would happen to us. It's in all our interests if we find him as soon as possible, and if he has anything to do with it, you might be able to help us find him. Your cooperation would certainly be appreciated, and it would be a nice gesture to show us that you're trustworthy in the eyes of those who might think otherwise, after what happened yesterday. Will you help us?
Don't see any reason not to.
Yeah.
I suppose I don't really have much choice here, but you're right. We've got to find Razor, and if that's what it takes, then I'll do it.
Very well, let us go then. Up, tip, up, go, let us go, up, tip, up.
On our way to the crime scene, he tried to prepare me for what would come. I had studied biology, so I was familiar with the sight of dead animals. Asking myself how similar this would be, I wondered if my reaction would be any different if it wasn't a dragon, but a human corpse I would be seeing.
By the way, who are we going
arrived,
for? Who are we going for? We've met all the dragons, right?
Well... have we?
I think so.
I think so. I mean, we haven't really come to a point which would seem to be a choice yet, so...
Well, I think the blood thing was one thing. This is probably one thing as well.
Maybe, but none of them have really had any achievements associated with them.
Yeah, they did the blood one.
Well, yeah, the blood one, but none of them since then.
But it's... oh, whatever.
When we arrived, we were met by Sebastian, who gave us an overview of the whole situation. This morning, the victim was found by a delivery flyer for a restaurant. Blood loss from multiple wounds are the likely cause of death. Forensics was already here, so feel free to poke around.
Poke.
A few paces in front of us, where the unfortunate victim was, covered by a sheet that concealed the body, but not the large red stain beneath. We approached, while Sebastian went off to deter any curious onlookers.
I know it won't be pretty, and I'm sorry for putting you through this, but you know what's at stake here. Just remember what I told you, and it should be fine.
Alright.
Are you ready? Just do it.
Just do it! Nah, that's too enthusiastic.
Yeah. ... Oh god! It's so graphic! Oh god! I can't take it! It's too much! Oh no!
Well, they're lacerations, so they definitely come from a bladed weapon.
Yeah. What do you think?
Well, he's definitely dead. Yeah.
Yeah, rip.
Brilliant.
Let's just say this will be your test. Tell me what you can deduce from what you see. Give it your best shot. When did we become Sherlock Holmes?
Shit, this is Felix Wright!
Just like the waitress in the cafe.
Oh shit, reading. 2 wings, 2 legs, just like the waitress in the cafe. About as big as a human, lengthwise, if not slightly taller. The wingspan would certainly look impressive.
You need to do a
size.
Sherlock Holmes voice.
Shut up!
You get super posh.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
The wounds are kinda hard to miss.
True, but what are they telling you?
They are clean cuts, like from a knife or another sharp instrument.
That is true. What does this matter? Dragons don't use knives! It tells us it was a suicide, clearly.
Have we seen dragons use knives? They have claws.
I don't know, but then Reza didn't have a knife, but then we don't know that.
Yeah. He could have got a knife here, but then if they don't have knife... Okay. I think the logical thing to say would be that dragons don't use knives. But we don't really know, do we?
But then he'll just laugh it off and say, bitch, please!
Let's go for it.
Actually, we do. Mostly by those who have...
Okay.
Fuck you!
Okay, so they do have knives. Sorry.
I guess he didn't have a knife last time we checked. He had a gun.
So it could only have been someone with hands.
That's right. Only those of us who work on 2 legs have the proper dexterity to wield a knife efficiently. Most other dragons would probably just bat instead.
It was effectively, not efficiently.
Oh. Of course, this rules out most of the bigger dragons and flyers. It was got a paper cut. But
Sorry. You mean his gun?
Yeah, if it was him, why would he kill someone with a knife rather than just use his gun on them? Gun? What's a gun? What happened? Did he lose his gun?
No, he still had it.
Make him look cooler. Oh yeah. Didn't want to make any noise.
It can't be a suicide. Look how many cuts there are.
Yeah. Didn't want to make any noise. But
Yeah.
then we don't know if it's him or not. It could be a draggy serial killer. A dragon serial killer? What are you talking about? Well, I don't know. We don't know yet. They don't give us a in the middle.
Well, it's clearly not from a gun. We can say that much. There's blood around the mouth, though.
Then they've fought back.
Yeah.
Then how could it be a human? Read! I'll have to disagree with you on that.
Okay.
It wouldn't make any...
Okay, so if that's not an option, we'll just have to go with he didn't want to make any noise, because that's the only one that makes sense.
Dude, stop forgetting to read.
Sorry.
Aloud.
He did not want to make any noise. After all, he ran away from Maverick, trying to hide from the police. Something as loud as a gunshot would have easily given away his position and alerted others in the area.
Right, that could be a good reason. By the way, which wound do you think was the lethal one? Neck, yeah?
On his wings, they don't seem to be bleeding much.
There's a big one on the chest, and then there's a really deep one on his neck.
There is a very, very deep one on the neck, and there is another one on the chest.
I'd say that the neck
They did say blood loss, and in that case, the neck is most likely because of the jugular. I think it was the one on his neck.
That's right, if all the blood from it wasn't a giveaway. This is a stab wound, characterised by the rather small footprint. You can tell it's also the deepest one. And from the location, it's pretty obvious it must have done tremendous damage. What else do you see? Blue blood! You didn't read...
Well, there's a lot of blood. He was
AIDS. There isn't blood!
Well,
he wasn't dragged. Look,
he wasn't, because there's no blood anywhere else.
He committed suicide. He
So
died,
he died here. He died here, else there would have been a trail we could follow. The splatters also suggest this is where they fought.
That's true. Unfortunately, it doesn't help with determining who the perpetrator is.
Objection!
Excuse me?
I'm gonna have to edit that in.
Excuse me?
Sorry, I just always wanted to say that.
Go on, please.
What about the blood on his muzzle?
You tell me. He's a vampire.
He fought back. It might be the perpetrator's blood.
Yes, that is true. I expect forensics already took a sample of it, so it might actually help us determine who the perpetrator is. I think that's about everything. Oh, I went Australian there. Fuck!
Investigation
Should
over.
I make him Aussie?